All right, hi everyone. My name is Karen, and I am your seasoned airport agent. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about airport lingo. What does it mean? Do you hear all these acronyms or sayings at the airport? And if you were wondering what they meant, I thought I would just go ahead and put a few of the things that we say every day at the airport that you guys out there in travel land may not know what that means. First thing I want to say is ATC. You've probably heard that term before, and ATC is air traffic control. Those are the guys who can space out the traffic, if it's bad weather or there's a runway closure or whatever is going on anywhere, because they're the ones who are monitoring the traffic of all airplanes that are up in the sky. And so if you've ever heard an agent say there's air traffic control delays, that just means that something's going on somewhere, and ATC has delayed your flight going into the city for some reason, weather or other, for many different reasons. But ATC, air traffic control. The second thing I want to talk about is the captain versus the FO. The captain of a flight, you've got most airplanes today have two pilots. One is the captain and one is the first officer. The captain is the head honcho. He's the head guy. He's the one with all the training, and he is the authority on the flight. He makes all the decisions about the big important things. And the FO is the one that is also flying the airplane. They both fly the airplane and they both monitor each other. But the captain is the final authority on any kind of decision, and has more training normally than the FO. So if you've ever heard what the captain, they usually have 4 stripes, versus the FO on their epaulets. You can tell which is the captain and which is not, or which one is the FO. The FO is the guy that has to go down and do the walk around the airplane to make sure that there's nothing visible or any kind of issues that he would have to bring to the captain's attention. And so the FO is the one that sits on the right hand side if you're facing forward, and the captain is the one that's in the left hand seat. The other thing you might hear is ETA versus ETD. Those are estimated time of departure and estimated time of arrival. That is standard airline lingo that we use when we're talking about what time is an airplane going to leave or arrive. That's something those are acronyms that we use a lot. Another thing you might hear is Cochair. And Cochair is a marketing tool that all the major airlines use to market their flights. So an airline like, say, American co-shares with Qantas, or they might code share with British Airways or something like that. But on the ticket, it might say American Airlines from here to here, and then American Airlines from here to here. But it's actually a British Airways flight. It's just sold under the American Airlines flight number and under American Airlines AA. Their 2-letter code, but it's actually another airline's metal, so it's their airplanes. That is a very common practice with all major airlines. The reason they do that is just so that it's a marketing thing. When you pull it up, you're thinking that you're going on one airline, but it will say on your itinerary, or when you're booking it, it'll say marketed by American, and actually flown by, or it'll say operated by. So just pay attention to that so that you know that you're going on a different airline. It is streamlined. The bags are checked through, and it is a through fare and all that. But code share is a very common thing that all airlines do, but it can be very confusing. You're thinking you're on one airline when you're actually flying on a different airline. Another thing that you might hear at the airport is crew legality. Crew legality, or the crew's gone illegal, or you have a crew legality, if the crew has been delayed, like in the morning, your flight might be delayed, and they might say, well, it was because of crew legality. The flight crew came in really late the night before. They have to have a certain amount of hours to sleep, obviously for your safety and for their safety. You have to have sleep. So if they were delayed the night before due to weather or maintenance or whatever, and that might delay your flight out in the morning. Or you could be on an airplane, and if there's been delays all day or something's going on and the crew goes illegal. That happens every day at the airport, especially on those long flights. We have airplanes that go 12 hours or more, and so they have very little wiggle room for if there's any kind of delay, then the crew goes illegal and we have to get a new crew, because obviously they have to be rested, and it's a big responsibility, and there's all kinds of regulations by the FAA that tells you how long a crew can fly, and it's also within with the airline itself. They have all kinds of rules about that. But crew legality is something that you will hear a lot at the airport, and it could be a good reason why things are delayed. Another thing you might hear is, what is a gate checked bag? A gate check bag is something that we check your bag at the gate. The reason we would check your bag at the gate is we run out of room. People bring on so much carry-on now that we get a lot of bags at the gate. So the only thing that I want you to understand about that is, if they gate check your bag, make sure that your bag is checked to its final destination. Don't let them just check it to the next city. If you're connecting, make sure that it's connecting in the hub and that the airline checks it all the way through to your final destination. Otherwise, it's gonna be a real mess. So just make sure if they're taking your bag and you're connecting in whatever city, Denver or Chicago or LA or whatever, that hey, I am continuing. Let the agent know I'm continuing on to such and such, so that they can put the final destination on for you, so you don't have to pick it up, because that's a big problem. The other thing you might hear is regional versus mainline airline. The difference is the regional airlines usually have smaller aircraft. They might service smaller cities, but they feed into the mainline airline. So you have a mainline airline that usually does like the wide bodies flying over to Europe or Asia, or the bigger airplanes, some of the longer routes. Those are probably the main line, like American, Delta, United. Those are the big three that are mainline airlines, and then the regional airlines feed into them, and they fly under the airline that they work for. So they're either contractors, or they could be wholly owned by the airline. Most major airlines have both, but they're considered regional airlines. A little smaller aircraft, and might service some of the smaller cities, but they do feed into the main line, but they're usually separate from the main line. They're different crew members, different company, but that's the difference between regional and the main line. And I guess that's about it. If you have questions, or you're wondering, hey, I heard this term, shoot me an email, talk to me on the YouTube, just leave a comment. We appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you listening, and if there's anything you want to ask or you have a question about, let me know. I'm with iflyright.net. That's my website. I have all kinds of really cool product recommendations on there, and all kinds of airline blogs. So if you have a question, drop me a line. My name is Karen, and I am your seasoned airport agent. And thank you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.